Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just going to wait for you guys to tune in. Say hi in the comment box. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. I've missed you guys. Let me wait for you guys, some of you guys to log in. Say hi if this is your first time tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Even if it's not your first time, let me know where you're tuning in from as well. I've missed you guys. I was very sick last week, so I have been off grid. I thank God that I'm feeling so much better this week. So wanted to jump on live real quick. I wanted to talk about fiance visas. I don't have much time today. Um, so let's just get right into it. Before I get right into it, if you would like to schedule a consult with me, you can call 407-995-6567. You can also send a WhatsApp to 404-333-8751. Okay. Hey Nikia from Far Rockaway, Queens. Feel better. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it got me and then it got my kids. It's just been crazy. But anyway, um, I'm feeling much better today. Okay, so I want to talk about 90 Day Fiance. I'm sure you guys have probably watched 90 Day Fiance or you've heard about 90 Day Fiance. And I know this is one area that confuses a lot of people. So I just want to quickly explain what that means to you. So 90 Day Fiance is 90 Day Fiance essentially means a K1 visa, basically a fiance visa. And I will explain why it's a 90-day visa. So typically, let's go over the requirements first. If you have a fiance, somebody outside of the United States that is obviously not a US citizen or a green card holder, and you want to bring them to the United States so you guys can marry or petition for them, the first thing that you have to do is you have to file for them. In order for you to file for them, you must be a US citizen. So you cannot file for a fiance visa as a green card holder. Second thing is you must meet the income requirements. The income requirement is a little less than a marriage-based requirement, but not by a lot because they're looking basically at 100% past the poverty guideline versus 125%. And speaking about income requirements, the income requirements for petitioning for somebody has gone up. It went up last week, March 1st. So if you're in the process of petitioning for someone, whether marriage, family, or whatever, you want to just check and make sure that you still meet the income requirement. Okay, so as I was saying, you need to meet the income requirement. And then one critical piece that disqualifies a lot of people is that you have to have seen that person at least once within the last 2 years. So, and if you've not seen the person, you have to have really extenuating circumstances explaining why you've not seen the person or why you guys couldn't go to another country to meet or something like that. Now, if you meet all those requirements, you can petition for that person. When you petition for that person, it's a two-stage petition. The first step is petitioning here in the United States, showing that you have a relationship with this person and you've seen this person and you intend to get married. And these are your plans for getting married when the person comes here. Once you do that, and you get approved, the next step is your fiance that's outside the country will then be interviewed, scheduled for an interview. They'll do their own medicals and attend the interview. Once they're approved, they enter into the United States on a K1 visa, just like, when you come here on a visiting visa, you come with a B1, B2. So they enter here on a K1 visa. And once they enter into the country, basically, they have a 90-day period of authorized stay in the country. And then in that point, they have to adjust their status. So once you enter into the country as a fiance, you have to then marry your spouse and file your petition within 90 days. Sometimes, people may come in and be like, okay, we're good. We can take our time to do things. But you don't want to do that. If you do that, basically, you're going to be starting the process all over again. Number one, you're not, you're going to have to do the I-130 again. with the 485. So apart from the fact that the filing fee is going to be more, it's going to take you a little bit of a longer time. And then the other thing is that you risk you and your spouse having a potential issue. If your spouse comes in here, you guys have never lived together before, and then all of a sudden your spouse comes here, you guys are not getting along. No, your spouse, your fiance, you guys are not getting along. You decide to break up. If you guys break up, that's it. You're not getting a green card. Even if you marry somebody else, you're not getting a green card while you're in the United States. It's not happening. You're going to have to leave the country after getting a waiver, of hardship. You're going to have to leave the country, and then they have to approve you for the new spouse. So when you enter into the country, it is really important that the person who brought you in here, that you get married to that person. Like, let me say it again, I can't stress this enough. It is important that whoever brings you in here on a fiance visa, that you marry the person and that you do it within 90 days. So you can just do an adjustment of status, and they can get all their own paperwork, and you guys can start your life together. So that's kind of how that works. Let me see what questions you guys have, since I have only 10 minutes, and then I will be off. Okay. Ashani says, feel better. Thank you very much. Macedona says, feel better too. Everybody says, feel better. Thank you so much. Sandra says, how long does it take to get a 2-year green card? How long it takes depends on where you are. Are you consular processing? Are you doing an adjustment of status? Consular processing means that you're processing from outside of the United States. Adjustment of status means that you're processing within the United States. Honestly, right now, it's so varied. Like, if you go online and check the processing time, it'll tell you anywhere from 6 months to 36 months is what it tells you. And that's basically saying we don't really know, because every case is different. Your field office is different. It depends on who, what field office it is. Within the United States, though, I will tell you most average people without any issue whatsoever, it's going to take them about 12 to 15 months. If you have issues, then your timelines begin to change. So, okay, Sandra, you said you're in the United States in Philly. So most average people here adjusting within the United States, it's going to take you about 12 to 15 months. And then, if there are issues after, usually those will arise after your interview. And then at that time, your guess is as good as mine. It could be anything. They could be doing home visits. They could be doing investigation back in your home country. So all those things factor into your time. If you're doing it outside of the United States, meaning consular processing, at minimum, just put in your head that it's going to take 24 months at the very minimum, because it's going to take you about 10 to 12 months here in the US, and then you still have to go back. You still have to do consular process, and then you're at the mercy of the embassy in the country that you're from. And every embassy is different. Some embassies, there's not a lot of activity, so people can move quickly. Certain other embassies, it can take like 6 months to a year to get an interview there. So the timeline is different. Jacqueline says, good morning, Aisha. We hope to meet this morning. Awesome. I look forward to meeting you as well. Idara says, good morning. Is it possible to add my kids during my VAWA process? Will they be given an SSN? Idara, it is possible, depending on, one, where your kids are, and two, if you qualify for adjustment of status. If you qualify for adjustment of status and you apply for adjustment of status, and your children are here in the United States, and they're under 21, you can include them. Dakay says, how long does it take to get Social Security after receiving work permit? Right now, the timeline has reduced, so usually it just takes about a couple of weeks. If you've not gotten it in a couple of weeks, then the best bet for you is just contact the Social Security office and just make sure, because sometimes you may not have checked, provide Social Security. So if that's the case, you can just contact them and get your Social Security card. Okay. King Sita says, best of the best. Can I ask you, if you're having an interview for your green card for VAWA and you're having a pending domestic violence case, Um, I guess you're asking me what's going to happen. Well, you obviously you probably have the opportunity to explain what's happening. If that arises, I mean, without really knowing what exactly is a pending domestic violence case. Is it the victims or the petitioner, like the abuser? Like, so the answer really depends. Um, Somebody says, what about if you and your spouse got married in another country? How long will it take to approve the I-130? Same thing, all I-130s are done within the United States. Average timeline is 10 to 12 months. Some people's take longer, and some people's take shorter, but most average people, this is what it will take. Um, okay, let's see what other question. Um, Mabe says, I was sent an RFE for VAWA case in September, but it wasn't delivered. I asked for it to be resent, but I still haven't gotten it yet. Do I keep writing letters or can I do anything? You have to contact a lawyer so that they can reach out to them through their hotline. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have on Instagram. Okay. Black Batty says, please, Ma, what if the spouse is a felon? Can one still file for VAWA? So meaning that the abuser is a felon? Is that what you're asking? If the abuser is a felon, yes, you can still file for VAWA. If the abuser is a felon, you can still file for a marriage-based green card as well. Who they're concerned with most times is the non-citizen, not the U.S. citizen. The only time when it becomes an issue in a marriage-based case with the U.S. Citizen is if the felony or the kind of crime is related to children, like, child abuse, molestation, pedophilia, and things like that. Okay. Shank says, how long does it take to get your work permit for the first time? Too long. I'm just joking. But it takes for most people anywhere from 5 to 8 months. We're seeing really more on the 8 month mark right now. More on the 7 to 8 month mark right now is what we're really seeing. Okay, so let's see what else. All right, guys, I have about 5 minutes. If you've been married up to 4 years and you haven't gotten your green card, how long would you have to stay before filing for citizenship? So Miss Pretty Ella, my daughter's name is Ella as well. So if you have been married for 4 years and you've not gotten a green card, you can't file for citizenship. You can't file for citizenship unless you have a green card. Now, if you have a conditional green card, meaning you had a 2 year green card and you're just waiting for them to approve the removal of your condition, then you can file for citizenship after 3 years of having that conditional green card, even though you're still waiting for them to remove the permanent condition. So that's your answer. Denise says, you're awesome. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. King says, I'm having an interview in March and a court hearing in April. I don't even know what this is in reference to, but good luck. Hope everything works out. And then Miriam says, good morning. Does it matter if you marry in another country or in the US? Which is better if a citizen wants to marry someone? None. There's no preference as to where you marry, as long as you're eligible to file, you're eligible. So the question of where you should get married is one, your ability to marry in the US. For a lot of people, they don't have the ability to marry in the US because they don't have visas to come to the US to get married. And then it's also a question of logistics. For some people, they don't want to come here and be out of work for long periods of time while they're waiting to get their work permit. They prefer to do it there so that once they enter into the United States, they'll be green card holders and they can work right away. So the answer really depends on your particular family and situation and what's going to work for you guys. Christy says, I'm asking for someone. Is it true some people get waiver for interview for VAWA? Yes, it is true. CDS says, good morning. I've been waiting for my E80 card from 2020. My lawyer sent to the Congress for help. Can you tell me how long it will take and if they can help me get my E80 card? I can't tell you how long it will take, honestly. I don't know. You should probably ask your lawyer as well. Maybe your lawyer can give you more insights. Okay, guys, I gotta jump off. But it was nice seeing you guys and just, going back to being normal today. So I will see you guys live tomorrow. Same time. I usually come on around somewhere between 9:30 and 10. Really, at this point, it's like around 10. So just subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you know when I come on live. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.